Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. The thyroid is a butterfly-shaped organ that sits right here. Your thyroid puts out hormones, T3, T4, and they take care of important functions in your body, like your brain health, your heart health, your digestion. It decides how carbohydrates are going to be utilized in your body. It's not just a nothing thing sitting there at the base of your throat that we can just take out and throw away. Oh well, no big deal, just get rid of it. No. It is a big deal. Your thyroid plays an important function to your body. It can be controlled with a synthetic hormone substitute like Synthroid or whatever. But you want to keep your thyroid if it's healthy. So at the time that I'm filming this, my surgery where they took out the right side was 1 month and 3 weeks ago. This little spot right there, that's where the drainage tube was during my surgery. And you'll see in a minute what that looks like right after surgery. And this is the incision, of course. Now, you may notice I have these rings on my neck. He went in through this line here. Never occurred to me that I had anything wrong with my thyroid. So how did they find this? Well, like a lot of people, mine was found accidentally on a CT scan. 5 years ago, I embarked on a keto journey. All right, and you're going, keto? What does keto have to do with your thyroid? Probably absolutely nothing. But what happened was I got a new doctor, okay? And my physician did blood work, found out about my cholesterol, which we have talked about forever and a day on this channel about how it's too high. She wants me to go on a statin, blah, 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 blah. Been down this road before, and we are not going to discuss whether or not statins are good or bad, whether or not, all these things are the devil or not. That's not it. I'm just telling you that this is part of the story of how this was found. I told that doctor at the time, prove it to me. Prove that my arteries are getting all clogged up. You do that and I'll go on the statin. So basically what happened was she told me about a scan that you can do yourself. Maybe it's once a year, I don't know. After you do it though, you can't do it again for 5 years. Okay, so this is why this starts 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I did a CAT scan. It was a heart scan, okay? And it's gonna tell you about how much plaque is, in your body. And I made an appointment with the hospital. I went and I had it. Also, an option for that was to add on a lung scan. And since I'd smoked for like 30 years, I decided a lung scan was a good idea. So do the heart and the lung scan. And it was like $50. You can't beat that. 5 years ago, the scan showed no plaque. I could have just said they found this growth via a CT scan and not started all the way back at Adam. But I really want you to know about these scans and that you can get these done on your own and monitor your own health, because I believe that everybody should be proactive in their own health. And these days, a lot of the time you have to be your own advocate, and this is an affordable way of keeping track of something that would otherwise cost you thousands of dollars and a suspected diagnosis. They won't just run a CAT scan for the heck of it. And the lung scan showed a 2-millimeter nodule at the base of my right lung. The report suspected it was nothing but something to keep an eye on. 5 years go by, I can now do it again. The lung scan now showed that the 2-millimeter nodule was exactly the same, so they suspect it's nothing. But there is a cystic change to the right thyroid. So I call my doctor on the phone and I tell him, hey, I had that scan and this is what it said. Because see, this exam was me. She didn't get a report for it. The only way she would know about it is if I took the results to her, because I did this on my own. I told her it picked up that there was a cystic change to the right thyroid. Maybe we want to look at it and see what it is. Especially since I used to be an x-ray tech, not behaving with a thyroid shield. Maybe we want to take a look at that. I am not saying that not wearing a thyroid shield or my job in x-ray had anything to do with this. They said that they see this a lot with x-ray techs, but it could have just been, it's a fairly common thing. She's like, okay. So the next step was to order an ultrasound. So she ordered an ultrasound. Side note, mildly interesting, the ultrasound tech that I had did my carotids the year before. So that ultrasound tech had already seen me the year before. And when she did my carotids, she saw the thyroid growth and never said anything, which, okay, I sort of get and I sort of don't get. I mean, when I was an x-ray tech, if I saw something, I noted it. I couldn't understand why, if she saw that the year before, why she didn't make a notation for the doctor to maybe take a look at it. But whatever, here nor there. The point is, she knew about it the year before, because when I walked in and she saw what I was having, she told me, oh yeah, I saw that last year. You did? Thanks for the heads up. So anyway, that's it. The next step is an ultrasound to see, is there actually something there to be concerned about? She does the ultrasound and the measurements come back, and the measurements are big enough that it is being advised that it comes out. This is the size of the nodule then, okay, that was inside. Had it been protruding out, well, I probably would have saw that, but it wasn't. It was inside. And I look at that and go, seriously? Wouldn't you think I would have felt that? I never felt that. So now I need to go from my doctor to an ENT doctor. So that's what happened. I got referred into an ENT who then sent me off to a pathology lab to have a biopsy done to see, is it cancerous? And it came back negative. So then I go see the ENT afterwards for the follow-up, and he tells me there's still a chance it could be because of the size. Okay, so this is how big they told me that it was, this kiwi, okay? And in the recovery room, he told my husband that he took out a racquetball. So that's how big a racquetball is. So when it gets to be like this big, they want to surgically take it out. And if the biopsy shows negative and it's that big, then it could be lying, okay, because it's like unstable. So at that point, that's when I said, well, then just take it out. They said I could keep having it tested every year to see. And I determined that for me, no, because I know how I am. I know I'm a worrywart. I know that every day I will be going, oh my gosh, is it cancer? Is it cancer? That would be my mindset. If they tell you this and you're comfortable with it, do what your heart says. My heart was saying, take the thing out, okay? So that's what happened. What I was told was they're going to go in and they're going to take the right side, and they will just take that right side unless there's cancer. And if there's cancer, they'll take the left side too. That makes sense to me. What I didn't understand was they're not going to know that in the operating room. They're going to open this up. They're going to take this out. They're going to biopsy it, okay? But they won't have those results and know whether the left side needs to come out or not until after I've already been sewed up and everything else, okay? Meaning if they find that that was cancer, I got to go back in and have the left side out. I thought that was all going to happen in the operating room. Turns out my results were negative. I do not have cancer of my thyroid. This hole right here, that just amazed me. When they pulled the drain out, there was a hole. Like, it's a hole. And they're going, oh yeah, it's all right. You know, they don't need to stitch that. It'll be gone tomorrow. No, it won't. Yeah, it was. It closed up like overnight. Over the last week now, I have started with this. It's by Derma E. It's a scar gel. I will just take in the morning and at night after I've done, you know, whatever. When I do my skincare, I only come down this far. I stay off of this. Primarily, it's because everything agitates it. I don't know. That could change. So I just put this on. And then what I do is I will take this little rose quartz, and while I'm watching TV or whatever, I just kind of work that around, because when I went to see him at the 1 month part, what was happening was I can swallow and everything, but it feels tight. It feels really tight there. And if I raise up like this, it feels really tight, and especially if I'm swallowing. And so of course I want to touch it, and there was this, like I could feel something in there. And here it felt like there was a rock in there. And he told me that he wanted me to start massaging it to keep scar tissue from forming. Since I started doing this, that hard thing I felt in there is going away. And this here feels like under it, there's still something hard there, but it feels like it's maybe just, it's not very big. It doesn't feel like it's any bigger than, say, that earring. It doesn't feel very big. And so that's all I'm doing is just kind of rubbing that around. He told me in my aftercare to wear sunscreen on it. I took him literally and I left there and put sunscreen on. And the next day, it was awful. I was itching and it was red, and it still gets red if I put like makeup on it or whatever. So at this point anyway, I'm staying off of it. Even with sunscreen, if I go to like get my nails filled or whatever, I will wear a scarf around it to keep the acrylic dust or whatever from getting on it. If I go out somewhere, I'll cover it, okay, because of the sun, not because I don't want to look at it, not because I don't want you to look at it. I don't really care. I mean, so what? I think it looks fantastic. And, you know, even if it doesn't, I am one of those people that believes in, you know, this is my battle scar here. I did battle with the thyroid and I won. Let's talk about voice changes really quick. Maybe you noticed that my voice is just about like a half octave lower than it was. I don't really notice that as much as I notice that it cracks more. Of course, you won't hear that if I just leave it in, you might, but you know, I cut out things like that from my video. I cut out a lot of the okay, yeah, all right. I definitely cut out mouth noises and sniffing and stuff just agitates me to no end. So I cut that stuff out. And if my voice cracks, you won't know it because I'll cut it out of the video. But so I have noticed though that sometimes I'll be talking and as I run out of breath, I can't finish. Whereas I could before. I am starting to get octave range back again, so I can sing a little bit, but you see it cracked on me. Several people told me that I would lose my voice, and so I wanted to put this in there for anyone who's going to have this surgery, who is watching this to try and figure out information. I never did. I remember talking to the nurses in the recovery room. I asked them questions, talked to them straight out of the recovery room. I'm sure there were people in my life who were hoping I would lose my voice, but I never did lose my voice. If I'm really excited and I'm talking to you and I'm like, it might crack. But like I said, I'm just shy of 2 months out of surgery. I would expect that there needs to be more healing. Sometimes I think I'm having like anesthesia brain or something because I'll forget. Like I'll just be sitting here going, what was that called again? Oh yeah, biopsy. It's called a biopsy. Where we sit right now is I am released until the 6-month mark, at which time he wants to check things again. He's already checked my blood work and I am leaning on the low side of normal. I am still in the normal range for hormone output for my thyroid. That's good. Okay. But I guess that could change over the next 6 months. So in 6 months time, he wants to check me again and see like, are my levels still okay? Or do I need to be put on something like Synthroid or whatever to pull up the slack? I know that some of you have a lot bigger problems than I've had, and I am sorry. I'm so sorry that you've had to go through that. Sometimes thyroid problems don't get diagnosed right away because a lot of the symptoms fall into something else that may be going on in your life. So it's something that you should have your doctor check if you're concerned. All right, here's your sign, guys. I know that some people are squeamish, and I mean, I don't think that these are bad at all, but I've seen everything from a paper cut to decapitation while working in the ER. So if you don't want to see the day-by-day recovery images of how this heals and what it looks like along the way, look away, and I will tell you when it's over. But I want these in here because this is what I wanted as a reference and couldn't find. This is after I came to, after the surgery, so on the 6th, in my hospital room. The next morning, this is later that day at home. As you can see, this literally did kind of close up overnight. Day by day, I think it gets grodier looking because of the glue on the incision that I'm not allowed to pick off, right? But as you can see, day by day, it gets a little better. I just took this because I had to go to the doctor for the 1-week checkup, and I wanted to show like what it looked like when I was wearing clothes, I guess. I don't know why I took this picture, but the next day I put a scarf over it because we went to the company picnic, and I thought that, you know, there was a bunch of dirt flying around and stuff. There's just smoke and everything else. I just wanted to keep it covered, but I didn't want to put a bandage on it because that's like, look at me, I've been injured or something. So I just put the scarf on, and, you know, nobody even thought anything about it because it kind of looked like I was cowgirlish anyway. So it just kind of blended in with what I had on that day. Now it starts to get kind of gross looking because that's glue, okay? It's looking really good under there, but I'm not allowed to pick at this glue, even though I was doing it anyway a little bit. But yeah, Shy Guy's like, leave it alone, leave it alone. I'm like, I can't stand it. Look at it, especially this. Look at that. Oh gosh, get that off there. And then on the 21st, I did pick the rest of it off. I couldn't stand looking at it anymore. After that, when I got back to filming, I just quit taking pictures. And so this is just pretty much the progression day by day for the first 27. Well, that last week I kind of slacked off a little bit. But if you've not been looking, you can look back now. Thanks for being here. I want you to know you are the best part of the Fritzy family. And what is this? I hear you saying, what? There's a family? Yes, here, hit the subscription button. You can be part of the Fritzy family. It doesn't cost you anything. You are the best part. And if you're not having a blessed day, the way you get one is to go be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya. Bye. And I'm out.
But occasionally, I want to talk about me, I want to talk about number one, me, my, oh my. Slit my throat. We're going to make that a dance now. Instead of going, we're going to go. Work it, work it, work it, girl. Work it, work it, work it, walk like an Egyptian. Woo. If you have any questions, that was my throat farting. It does that a lot now. Okay, it did that before. I'm just blaming my thyroid. That I'm gonna sing, whether I can or not. You know, even if I'm off key, I'm still gonna sing. Because I'm gonna be like, shut up, baby, I'm trying to sing. See what I mean? Like, I'll be thinking of something, I'll be like, what's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they spend all day in the sun. Wandering free, wish I could be part of that world. I'm thinking that time after time, time after time. Stop it, Mary. I tell you what, I can remember all these 80s lyrics, but I can't remember what I went in the kitchen for.